Yes, happy Monday. You can trust that day. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Nice to have you here. And as always, I am your suited host, David Burrows. Welcome, everybody. And yes, happy Monday. It's one of my favorite days. Why? Do you know why? If you've been watching the show for a while, you'll know why. Because I get to talk to some great people and talk about some things that are happening in our community. So happy Monday to all of you, and happy Labor Day weekend, and happy Labor Day today. This is a recorded live, so pre-recorded. And earlier this morning, we were live streaming the Labor Day Parade. So if you haven't seen that yet, you can check that out on our Facebook page or on my YouTube channel. Yeah, still working on the YouTube channel. Don't be afraid to subscribe there, and you'll be able to see other cool videos that I've been making and some fun stuff like my drones and my motorcycles. But I got some new stuff because the wintertime's coming, right? I know, right? Hard to believe. Like, it's summer. It's been fantastic, though, and the weather's been good all up to this today, right? So, yeah, just really good. Sarnia Sting black and white game happened over the weekend, or this past Friday, right, in support of the United Way. So that was a lot of fun, and we'll be sharing more about what's happening with the Sarnia Sting now that the season is getting to be underway, and looking forward to, it's like when summer's over, the first home game for me is like the official start of winter. That's all I can say, which is October 7th, right? There are some other games, exhibition games as well, and official games out of town. But their first official home game will be on October the 7th. As always, want to say thanks to all of my supporters, my sponsors, Hughes Intelligence, Huron Signs, SWO, Joe's Discount Tire, Tourism Sarnia Lambton, all great partners. And now joining us, 2-4 Taxi. Leave the transportation to them. Get to where you got to be safe and sound with the 2-4 Taxi. And please click on their links. Check out our sponsors, and if you're able to, give them your support to say thanks for them supporting me here on the show. And of course, all of you who support me here by just showing up every week. Something new, if you haven't seen it already, Lambton 411. This is going to cover news and information and events as well. So, but all around Lambton County. The show, has always been here every week. Episode 565. We haven't missed a week here yet. Always pretty proud of that. But want to be able to do more, and a little more news and other events, and we want to be able to pick it all up in Lambton County. So Lambton 411, if you can follow that on Facebook, or you can go to lambton411.com to read up stories. It's a part of our website at the show. And it's going to be a little bit different than just what the show covers. So check that out again on Facebook, Lambton 411. We're also on Instagram, and we do a live bulletin board system, a Facebook Live feature that we have. And if you want your nonprofit or charitable event to be a part of Lambton 411, you can just send an email to info@lambton411.com with information. About 2 weeks in advance of your event would be great to help us out with that. All right. Well, speaking of events coming up, before we get into that, something I saw out there is Sinclair Child and Youth Services is looking for community volunteers and board members. And if you want to be able to support what Sinclair Child and Youth Services does, empowering mental wellness, visit them online at sinclairchild.ca. I'm sure a very rewarding experience to be a part of as a board member or volunteer with Sinclair Child and Youth Services. Sinclair Child and Youth Services has been around a long time. I can't remember the number, but I know as I was in high school, I used Sinclair Child and Youth Services. My family did. So they've been around for at least 40 years. That's all I'm going to say. So check that out, sinclairchild.ca, for more information on that. All right, well, jumping into the events coming up this week, I'm a fan of car shows, and who doesn't like a cool car show? Coming up September 10th, Enrich Pipelines is back with their car show on Saturday, September the 10th. It's from 9 until 2 p.m., and this happens out at Moldland Road, 1086 Moldland Road, just there at Wellington and Moldland, the University of Western Ontario Research Park. And spectator admission is a donation to United Way. All the proceeds going to United Way. Going to be a 50-50 draw, door prizes and food. And, of course, there's going to be music and stuff. I'm hoping to be out there with my car, too. So if you happen to see us, be sure to say hello. But what a great, fun way to support the United Way, which, as you know, when our friend Dave Brown joins us here, all the money for United Way Sarnia Lampson stays right here in Lambton County. Well, this guy's always entertaining and still entertaining. There's two of them. Blackmore and Blackmore is going to be performing at Nightlife Bistro and Jazz Lounge in downtown Sarnia on Saturday, September the 10th from 8 till 11 p.m. I'm hoping to get out there and see you, Mike. It's been a while, and Mike Blackmore is always very talented and a lot of fun to be around as well. So Blackmore and Blackmore, you can check them out on Saturday, September the 10th at Nightlife, downtown Sarnia, right? It's been, the walkabouts have been a lot of fun too. And I've only been able to make a couple, but it's nice to see all that happening again. All right. Sarnia Record Show. This is a fun one. So on Sunday, I should do that in an echoey voice. The Sarnia Record Show will be at the Royal Canadian Legion on Sunday, September the 11th from 10 until 3 p.m. Now, $2 admission all goes to the Royal Canadian Legion. So what a great way to support the Legion. And man, if you're a record fan, I'm going to be there. I want to check out all the records that are going to be there. There'll be some old, some new, some rare, and who knows what you'll find when you go to these types of shows. Sarnia Record Show, again, at the Royal Canadian Legion, coming up this Sunday. And then I know it seems like it's a ways off, but Saturday, September the 24th, Artist Day at Petrolia Discovery, a great walkthrough art and show sale. And you can find out more about this if you're an artist and you want to participate. You can send an email there to, it's on the screen there. We'll post it on the Facebook page after. But entrances by donation, and there'll be self-guided tours from 10 until 3. Bring cash for the vendors. Dip soft serve ice cream. I'm definitely going to be there. But mark that on your calendar. If you've never been out to Petrolia Discovery, this will be a great way to learn more about what it is and support your local artists as well. I've been talking about this one for a few weeks. Tickets are on sale now for this Toby Keith tribute. Now, that picture there is not Toby Keith. That is the Toby Keith, the gentleman who's doing the tribute. But he really looks like Toby Keith, right? And I've never heard him, but I have some friends that have, and they're like, wow, Toby Keith is on that stage. So tickets are now available. They started just this past week. It's only $30 each to open seating, and you can get them by going to the Royal Canadian Legion in Corunna, or just go to their Facebook page and follow them there to find out more information. There's a foreign phone number on the screen as well. We're live. Phone numbers on the screen as well to get your tickets for this exciting Toby Keith tribute, and also supporting the Royal Canadian Legion out in Corunna. And coming up, registration has already started for this. You're going to want to get on this fast as things fill up for these classes. Photography lessons, leather carving, jam sessions. Learn some Italian. Why not learn to play the guitar? Magic lessons. Amaze your friends and family. Why not? Simply go to the City of Sarnia website and search for Strangway Center, and you'll be able to find all the information on all the courses and classes that are coming this fall to the Strangway Center. And keep in mind, the Strangway Center is not just 55 plus. It's actually 20 plus now, and they cover a wide range of topics for different ages. So check them out online as well. Wow, that's a lot going on, right? Which is great to see. The fall, the summer has its place, and the fall has its place as well. So nice to see those things being available to us here in the community. All right, well, we're going to move forward now. Speaking of being in the community, suicide is a word that is becoming more commonly heard, but we still have some trouble talking about it. And what do you do when that affects you personally? There are resources in the community, and coming up on September the 10th is World Suicide Prevention Day, and we have the Sarnia Lampson Suicide Prevention Committee. A couple of the members, Heather and Michelle, are going to talk to us. Take a look at this very important interview. I'll be back. All right, well, this is always a sensitive topic, and it can be a difficult topic to talk about. And I've had these interviews before where I've even said, even the word suicide can be difficult to say, let alone talk about. But that's what we're here to do today. And World Suicide Prevention Day is coming up on September the 10th. And we've got some committee members from our local Sarnia Lambton Suicide Prevention Committee. Michelle Parks and Heather Taylor, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Am I accurate in saying that it's a tough word for most people to say? And
it is a tough word for people to say. It's a word we need to get more comfortable with. We need to start that conversation.
And I guess that's a big part of the committee here as well, right? And I guess another reason why, World Suicide Prevention Day has been around for some time now. And actually, your committee has really been around for about 20 years, I think.
Yeah, I've been sitting on this committee since 2012, and it was long established before I started.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's start with you, Michelle, as far as what we can expect from World Suicide Prevention Day. And then, Heather, I want to come and talk to you. You've got a special program that you share, but go ahead, Michelle.
Sure. We have lots of activities planned. We're actually doing a whole week long activities, starting with our tie a yellow ribbon around the tree. So we're encouraging everyone who views this to get a yellow ribbon tied around their front tree. It's just gaining awareness for suicide prevention and that no one has to die by suicide, and to let everyone know that they don't have to feel alone. So we'll kind of start off by saying tie a yellow ribbon around your tree. We also have lots of other activities planned. I'm very excited. It's been a couple years in the works because of COVID. We are running a documentary at the Sarnia Library Theater on Thursday, September 8th. It's called The Ripple Effect, and it's focusing on the devastating effects of suicide and the positive ripple effects of advocacy with regards to suicide.
Okay.
So we're doing that on Thursday, September 8th at the Sarnia Library Theater. Tickets are available through Eventbrite, so you can register on Eventbrite to attend that. So that's the first thing we're doing. We're also having displays at the Lambton Mall the whole week, September 6th through the 12th. And we'll be showcasing a photo exhibit on Saturday, September 10th. Olivia Misuko will be leading an interactive self-care activity from 12 to 3 in the food court. We'll also have reps there from the Sarnia Lambton Suicide Prevention Committee, the Mike Harvey Foundation, and Talk for Tamara, two other organizations in our community that are very much advocating for suicide prevention.
Wow, that's a lot going on, but I mean, it's great that actually the whole week is really being taken advantage of as far as instead of just one day. And I know it goes beyond the one day and the 1 week to continue that awareness. But I guess, Heather, thanks for sharing that, Michelle. We'll be sure to share all this information on our Facebook page after the show's over as well. So you can click on those links and get registered for the Ripple Effect and check out all the other events coming up as well. Heather, coming over to you, you have a program. It's about an 8-week program, I think you were saying, and grieving is certainly a different type of grieving, I guess I would say, to normal passing, right?
Yes. So what we find with suicide is it's a very unique, it's a complicated as well as a very different form of grief that people experience due to the traumatic effect of suicide and how it impacts people. And, you know, most people aren't aware that somebody is to that point, that when they do die by suicide, there's a lot of extensive grief work that needs to be done. So through the Sarnia Lambton Suicide Prevention Committee, and I have sat on the committee as well, I think it's 7 or 8 years now, we have come up with a program that we do an intensive psychoeducation for family members who have had a family member die by suicide. And they can register, and it's an 8-week program. And our next program is actually coming up. It is starting, I have it listed here. Sorry, I don't actually have to. I need to grab that. October 24th, I believe, to December 19th is the date of our next group. If they call Rapids, they can register through the Rapids Family Health Team.
Okay.
And
just to interrupt you there. I got a couple of questions there. I think it's great that that's obviously available. But I think, is it fair to say, and I'm obviously, I don't have the stats, but is it fair to say a lot of times when we hear suicide, we automatically, our brain goes to youth? Is that fair to say?
I think that, a lot of times it seems to be younger people. That obviously is our highest statistic, is our younger people. But we do know that suicide impacts all ages. Yeah. Suicide does not discriminate in any manner, shape, or form, whether people are, influenced by education, wealth, anything like that. Suicide does not discriminate and can impact anybody at any age.
Yeah, and I would imagine there's a lot of if it was a youth and there's a parent or whoever's around that person, there's a lot of blame. I think self-blame. Why didn't I notice? Why didn't I do something? Why? Are there things that we can do as a family member, as a friend, to try to do our best to recognize? Are there signals? How do we observe that?
We just tell everybody to do, the best they can. There are resources here in Lambton County that if people do recognize that they have a family member, friend struggling with, thoughts of suicide or self-harm, that we always recommend that, there's the Blue Water Health emergency room where they have a psychiatric assessment nurse on 24 hours a day who they can go to and they can have an assessment there. We do have other programs out in the community as well. CMHA works closely, running the crisis line and such. So again, if people recognize, just stay with that person and try to get them to help if they feel that, they're able to do that, for sure. There is a lot of people look back and, of course, think that they missed things. And our program that we actually teach, our 8-week program, it's actually called the Why program, because there are many more questions than answers at that time.
Right. Michelle, I want to come back to you. Thanks, Heather, for sharing that important information. Michelle, I want to come back to you for just a moment there on these events. Seems like, the ripple effect at the library, but I also noticed that Diversity Ed here in Sarnia is kind of celebrating or sharing a 1-year anniversary. Talk about the link between these two groups.
Diversity Ed and Sarnia Lambton Suicide Prevention Committee have formed a partnership. Crystal, who runs Diversity Ed, is a new member of our suicide prevention group. So this past Friday, we attended, had a suicide prevention booth, just to have the resources there, because as we know, teens that are struggling with their identity and their sexuality are more likely to experience some suicidal thoughts, and we want to make sure that we're out there and we're supporting them as well. I just will add on with what Heather said. When you are worried about a family member or a friend, it's just important to know that you always don't have all the answers, and to just to reach out to them regularly, see how they're doing, listen and be supportive, but know that you don't have all the answers, and to reach out to someone who might and try and get them the help that they need. We all can't pretend to be experts, but we can do our best to try and recognize those signs and get them help. There's lots of places out in the community where they can get help and the resources they need.
Right. Now, and I think, I know for a fact, like you said, there are a ton of resources in this community, but you guys would know that because you're involved in it. I know that because I've had these conversations many times with what I do. But what about like, until this really hits us personally, we don't necessarily reach out and find those resources, like anything else, like Alzheimer's or, whatever, until it affects us personally. What's the best way? Do you have resources listed on the website there? Is that a part of your website, or what's the best way for people to reach out?
Yep, our Facebook page and our website. I would really encourage, we have a really great program that Sarnia Lambton Suicide Prevention Committee does. It's called Safe Talk, and it's open to anyone 15 years of age or older. And it's kind of how I can best describe it is just making Sarnia Lambton a suicide safer community. It's kind of a suicide first aid. It's not being able to kind of intervene and being able to help, but to know where those resources are, being able to recognize the signs more clearly, because you're right, because unless this really affects you personally, we might not even think about it. But with, 11, what is the stats? Approximately 11 people in Canada die by suicide each day. So that's a lot of people. So it affects, so that means that for every death by suicide, 7 to 10 people are affected by that death. So that's a lot of people. So if you have the resources, and just to be able to, as even a 15-year-old, go, okay, my friend doesn't seem right, and then being able to go to a teacher and go with this person and try and get them the resources, it could help someone not die by suicide.
Right. And what about our children? We like to check in with our children. How's your day? How's your job? Whatever's going on, how's school? But that's an awkward conversation, isn't it? To say, how do you say to your child or your youth? I'm stuttering already, just trying to go. Like, how do you say that, right? Like, is that the type of things too that the local committee can offer support for as well? And is that part of the Safe Talk program as well? How to talk about it to our children?
Go ahead, Michelle.
It really is. It really is knowing what to say and how to say it. I think we struggle, especially I think with our children, with asking that question directly. But if we're recognizing signs and we're worried about it, the best thing to do is say, are you thinking about completing suicide? Are you thinking about dying? Not, are you thinking about hurting yourself? Because it's just those words you use, right? To make sure that you're getting the correct answer back. And,
wow.
If they answer, and oftentimes they're kind of shocked and relieved that somebody has noticed that, oh my gosh, yes, I am thinking of wanting to die. And then do you have a plan? And that's when you're wanting to get them help. So it's a tough question to ask, Dave. I know I have kids myself, but it's exactly the right thing that you have to do to get that.
It used to be just say no to drugs.
I know.
But seriously, it was that, this has been a long conversation over the years, and obviously we hear about it more because I think of social media in general. Back Michelle in our day in the 80s kind of thing, right? We only sort of heard about the topic suicide once in a while, and that wasn't until it was actually too late. Right. So it's great that the Sarnia Lambton Suicide Prevention Committee exists, and that World Suicide Prevention Day exists. What about beyond World Suicide Prevention Day? Do you continue to do other things in the community to keep the awareness going? And what does that look like?
So again, like I say, we do run our suicide loss support group. We usually do it in the spring. We usually have a session in the spring, an 8-week session, and also a fall session. I just wanted to confirm the dates. I did have my note right here beside me. So our next group starts October 24th to December 19th. And again, if anybody has had a family member who has died by suicide, they can call the Rapids Family Health Team and ask for Cheryl, and Cheryl will do the intake assessment with them. But we also, like I say, we do that. We have a monthly group after they complete the 8-week intensive program where they can come once a month and continue to meet. We provide psychoeducation as well as topics of interest if there's holidays coming up and things that obviously are concerning for people. Their first Christmas, Mother's Day, Father's Day, any of the kind of events that, are very triggering and people really have difficulty with, then we try to put some resources in place to help people during those times. So
Very
we
good.
do that monthly. So this is an ongoing support. It doesn't end after their 8 weeks. We continue to work with people. We've had members who have come out for 6 years now, every month to our group, and it's been very beneficial and let us know that what we're doing is the right work for people to continue to need that support.
Well, yes, and thanks to you and the committee for doing what you do in our community. It's very important, obviously, and I thank you for your time and sharing. An emotional topic for sure. I always like to give my guests one final chance. Is there anything we missed, Michelle or Heather, that you want to put out to people?
I just want to remind people about all the events. So we have the September 8th is the Ripple Effect, the Lambton Mall, September 6th through the 10th. Tie a yellow ribbon around your tree, and really think about taking that Safe Talk training. I don't think that you would regret taking it at all. It's just adding to your tool belt on resources that are available in the community. Hopefully you never need it, but if you do, it's a great thing to have.
Yeah. Awesome. And is there a cost to taking that? And where do people sign up?
No, there's no cost for, are you talking about the group?
The Safe Talk.
Oh, Safe Talk.
Safe Talk. So we would contact Sinclair Child and Youth. Suzanne in the office will be able to do that. We have Talk for Tamara and the Mike Harvey Foundation have provided a lot of sponsorship dollars to be able to provide that training for free.
Okay.
So a lot of times that training can be offered for free. If it's a workplace that is wanting to have it for their organization or work group, then we would work something out. And it's normally just the cost of the resource book to take it, which is very minimal.
I'm interested. I want to take it.
Yeah, we would love to have you out there. You talk about it all the time, Dave. I know I've talked to you about this topic numerous times over the years.
Great. Well, we'll keep spreading the word, and we'll do what we can to support you and your committee as well. So thanks again, ladies. I really appreciate you joining me here today. World Suicide Prevention Day, September the 10th, but a whole list of events. You can see this on our Facebook page. We'll be promoting it throughout the week as well. Thanks again, ladies. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks for having us.
All right, Michelle and Heather, thank you so much for your time here today. Tough discussion for sure, but one that must be had. And World Suicide Prevention Day all week, really, as you saw there with all the events. Check them out. We're going to share the information on the Facebook page so you can learn more about what's happening in our community, how you can get involved, and how you can learn, like you heard about the Safe Talk program, etc. So thank you, Michelle and Heather, for your very important time here today. All right. Well, it's been great, but as always, that's all the time I got for you this week. Have a great week and an even better weekend. I will see you next time right here on the show. Bye-bye for now. Here it comes. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.